gentlemen, welcome to Walking with J.Beau. Once again, hope you're having a beautiful day today on this May 12th, 2025. It's going to be dark soon. I got started on my walk late because I had to mow the property. That time of year, we had all that rain, and as you can see, we're going to pass a lot of places where they mowed their lawn today because this weekend coming up, we're going to get more rain. And if you didn't mow it today or this week, you would end up having to use a scythe after that. And on top of that, I had a difficult time mowing the property because it was saturated with water from all the rain we've had. Free golf bag. Anybody needs a golf bag, it's free. I tried learning golf, just didn't get into it. And I know that's probably sacrilege with a bunch of other people that enjoy golf. I know President Trump enjoys golf, as do thousands of others, but I never bonded with it. I was never very good at hitting the ball, which is really funny because I had a much better than average slap shot and wrist shot playing hockey. So maybe that's why I'm trying to use those mechanics. There's my doggy friends. Guy's having a mechanical issue with his front wheel drive. Sounds like a UV joint. Grinding away. Eventually what's going to happen is the vehicle's not going to go anywhere when you step on the gas. Which is never a fun thing, is it? So we're going to go for a walk tonight. Kind of a nice looking evening of sorts. When it starts getting darker, I'll switch over to the night. We are going to do a selfie stream tonight of sorts. It's not windy, it's not raining. Nice looking sky, I think. Hope you enjoyed the 2 new shooting videos on the channel. Had fun making those. That's a nice looking sky. Look at that. Hello. So I figured I'd get my walk in tonight. It's about 60 degrees right now. It was in the mid 60s today. It's a nice day. A couple of days this week it's going to be 70. Very glad I mowed the property. Stay on top of that stuff. Now today it was about 65, maybe 69 degrees. And there was a lot of work mowing the lawn because of the extra thickness of the grass. It's been raining so much lately, people couldn't keep up with it. So it's done. And it was kind of cool because it was rather satisfying, because I got a visit from a duck and a baby duck, which was actually a juvenile duck, in my backyard. Almost like they were saying, it's okay, we understand how bad you felt when that mama duck got run over a 3 weeks ago. I realize that's ridiculous, but I've been on this property for almost 20 years now, and I don't recall ever seeing ducks in our backyard. And all of a sudden there's 2 ducks. I don't know. Does it mean anything? Probably not. But it was nice anyway. Hi everybody. Let me stretch this out here. There we go. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Hope you're enjoying life, living the high life. Anyway, we're gonna go for our walk. And you know, there's a lot of cool things going on right now. It was really funny watching Trump handle ABC News today. We had ABC News today trying to play it cute with a press conference that Trump did with HHS people. See, RFK was there. Dr. Oz was there. These were all people in Trump's cabinet having to do with health. And it was really an interesting thing, because Mehmet Oz was talking about all the good stuff they're doing to make people healthy again. And the press conference was specifically having to do with executive orders forcing Big Pharma to drop their prices on drugs. Something politically taboo in Washington, D.C. And as made evident today by Trump's comments and RFK Jr.'s comments and Dr. Oz's comments, that many politicians openly declare that that should be done, what Trump did today. But it never gets done. And it never gets done because it's not politically good for somebody to do that, because of all the lobbying in DC from Big Pharma. So all of these politicians, they promote anything Big Pharma wants promoted. including the flibbity gibbet. You don't know what a flibbity gibbet is? It is something people are censored for still to this day by YouTube. You know, the flibbity gibbet. So I can't talk about it, so we'll call it a flibbity gibbet. All right. So anyway, President Trump said today that he had received $100 million from Big Pharma. Trump did. And it didn't matter because he was signing this executive order anyway, and because he can't be bought. In other words, well, it's really nice that you gave us $100 million on our campaign, but I'm going to sign an executive order that doesn't go along with what you think you were paying for. So I think that was awesome. As I just saw a deer's tail run through the woods and across the road. I saw a little white tail right about there, hopping up and down into the bushes. Heard my voice and they took off. And I can hear them. I'm rummaging through there. If I wasn't talking with you guys, we would have seen a deer. But I saw its ass end, so that's nice. He went off into the woods there. Oh, right there. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them. I know you can't see them, but if I was a hunter, at least one of them I would have just dropped. I had a good shot. So anyway, President Trump and Mehmet Oz and RFK Jr. were explaining how many politicians are influenced by Big Pharma money in both major parties, and also commented on people like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, who we were reminded today, Bernie Sanders made an entire campaign for president out of forcing Big Pharma and oligarchs to get out of our politics and to stop making it impossible for people to afford drugs that we need. And President Trump did it today. And while Trump is signing the executive order, he said it's going to be really interesting to see Democrats go against what I just did because they can't help themselves, which I thought was funny. And that's the truth, isn't it? Well, let's see what the Democrats say. Are they going to say Trump cutting prescription prices by a lot is a bad thing? What are they going to do? So, let's flip this back around. We did not get to see the deer, unfortunately. I did, though. I don't know if you did. I had the camera pointed right at the 3 deer out in the woods. Don't know if you could see them. You might see the tails. But this lens I'm using on this adds quite a bit of distance from point of view, what you're looking at. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what the Democrats say today about President Trump. They tried to take the Pakistan-India peace treaty away by saying Trump got a peace treaty, and within hours after he announced it, there was more fighting. Well, it's been pretty much formally announced that they're going to have a peace treaty, because Trump basically said that you guys don't knock it off, you're not going to have any trade with the United States. That applied to both countries. India is like the second most populated country on the planet, and they make a lot of stuff. So both countries have nuclear weapons too, by the way. So that's a big, you know, I think basically the Trump administration was reminding them that, hey, you know, you guys have nuclear weapons. We need to set an example for countries like Iran, who borders you guys, by the way, that this isn't the way to behave. So, anyways, I'm gonna flip the camera around now. So that's pretty awesome. President Trump's doing a great job right now. I can't say the same for a Republican Congress. They're just not getting things done fast enough. I don't know what it is with them, but people are getting angry and letting them know it. And, you know, it's deserved, in my opinion. I gotta start getting some stuff done, man. This is the least amount of least amount of bills for a president to sign at this point in his presidency in 70 years, since after World War II. That's BS, man. We shouldn't tolerate it. Got a nice blooming tree here. So tonight we're going to do a 5 mile instead of a 6. And we're going to do a 5 because I mowed the property earlier. And it was a lot of work. If you've ever mowed wet grass on ground that's saturated with water, you will understand. So anyway, it was nice to see a couple of ducks in the backyard. They were eating all the bugs I mowed up in the grass. Looked like they were having a really good feast, actually. Mama was just walking around watching things while the little baby duck, which was actually a juvenile duck, was eating all the bugs. There's a dog. Pretty white dog. Puts on a big show. For the longest time, I never heard that dog barking. Now it barks every time I go by. I think it was coerced by a smaller dog that used to be there with it. Kind of egged him on. Teaching an old dog new tricks. So online, I was watching people like Adam Schiff and other Democrats completely upset and losing their crap at Donald Trump. These people are unhinged. Talking about this flying palace donated by Qatar as a thank you gesture to the United States. This jet plane is donated to the United States, not Donald Trump. because Boeing was delayed in their manufacturing. I'm going to go down this way and take a circumvented route tonight. So Qatar donated this big, huge Flying Palace airplane, modern aircraft, to be Air Force One. Because Trump had ordered an Air Force One during his first term. Boeing ran into a cost overrun, delay, and Trump is tired of it. So, Qatar, hearing about that, decided to donate a $400 plus million plane to the United States Defense Department, not to President Trump, like the media would like you to believe, and these Democrats who are losing their crap, trying to say Trump is violating the Emoluments Clause. Nobody serving in office shall receive any gifts whatsoever of any kind, it says in the Constitution. Well, this is not a Trump gift. He's not going to own the plane. It's being donated to the Defense Department, who is responsible for Air Force One. Because the other real Air Force One has been outdated and obsolete for a long time. It costs a tremendous amount of money to maintain it because it's so old. This new plane is going to have all the updated security stuff it needs. It's going to have the space on it needs. And all will be well. There are a lot of people online who are like, even if it's not donated to you, President Trump, you shouldn't accept it. It's bad optics. No, it isn't. Was it? Walking up a hill. Was it bad optics when we accepted the Statue of Liberty as a gift from France? No. This is basically Qatar saying, we understand the United States defending the Middle East here protects the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, from a rather violent Middle East. So they are thankful and grateful, and they did a gesture of goodwill and donated a jet plane to the Defense Department. So when the real Air Force One is finally finished by an incompetent Boeing company who enjoys cost overruns because it's government money, and they enjoyed delaying everything under Biden because nobody did anything about it. This plane is well over $1 billion in cost overruns, and that's all taxpayer money. Has to stop. So Trump is like, well, until Boeing gets their crap together, this is canceled. We're going to take this plane from Qatar, use it as Air Force One, until Boeing gets their thumb out of their keister. And then after Trump's presidency, it's going to go in the presidential library, just like Ronald Reagan did with the old Air Force One. So a lot of people don't know that. I found that out today. I didn't know that. It's one of the big attractions at his presidential library. People want to see the old Air Force One. I did not know that, so that's pretty cool, actually. And they're going to do the same thing with this one. It's going to be retired, and it's going to be at Trump's presidential library. Isn't that cool? So the Democrats are having a friggin' cow over that, because the Democrats cannot accept democracy, and that we voted for President Trump, democratically elected, duly elected president, that the Democrats are going to try to impeach him again on. An emoluments clause because he accepted a friggin' airplane from Qatar, which didn't go to Trump. They are desperate, folks. Bashing Trump hasn't won anything for them at all. Yet here we are, they're still bashing Trump. Let's do more of something that didn't work. So we will enjoy the spectacle again if the Democrats get the House next year. Democrats aren't going to do anything legislatively. They're going to spend all their time with, gotta get Trump. So that's what they're going to do. So I'm glad the Democrats have not learned a damn thing. In Maine here, they're still promoting the trans women and women's sports. They're tripling and quadrupling down on it because they're stuck with it. They don't have a choice. They brought that crap in, now they can't get rid of it, and it's politically hurting them. So I encourage them to keep doing it. Keep on doing it, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. So I'm on my last notch on my belt, and that's a belt notch I added a year ago because my belt was getting too loose. So now it is even looser than it was. I'm afraid to get on the scale. I might be withering away. Oh, isn't that nice? We got a Christmas tree up in May. See that? People like Christmas lights. See you around, I guess. No crime in it. I don't mind it. So, we're going to enjoy life, and the Trump presidency is doing a good job. This executive order he signed, let's see how many people file lawsuits to stop people from saving money. Let's watch what happens. You think they will? You think they have Trump derangement syndrome so bad that they don't want to save grandma hundreds of dollars? The reason why I say hundreds of dollars is Trump told a story today about a friend of his who went to England and he needed to fill his prescription, and he paid $88 for his prescription. $88. I don't remember what the drug was. He probably said Ozempic or something because he made a fat joke that made everybody laugh. So I think he was insinuating that the drug the guy was buying wasn't working because he was still fat, but which is pretty funny. But he said it was $88 in the UK, and that same prescription was $1,300 here, he said, that guy paid normally. And they do the same thing with insulin, heart medications, stuff people need, you know. should not cost that much here. But Big Pharma's excuse is that these high prices are funding research, medical research into more drugs. So they've been using basically tax dollars from Medicare to fund their research, while these big pharma companies make record profits, and we're still funding their research with tax dollars. And nobody was doing anything about it until Trump did today. So that's pretty awesome, if you ask me. Trump's looking out for us. Kept a big campaign promise. And he's got people like Matt Oz and RFK Jr. doing this stuff. Very happy about that. This is what we voted for. Now we need a Republican Congress to get off their ass and actually do something about it. So hopefully somebody will. Hopefully they will. Now these drug prescription prices in his executive order he just signed are supposed to be in the new big beautiful bill, part of the Medicare cuts, which they're cutting the fraud, and they're also going to get people that are single and able with no dependents to get Medicaid, to have work requirements for it, at least 20 hours a week. Personally, I think they're going to run into problems with that. That's a bit too much. And the reason why I say that is, who is going to have to comply with that? You get people that are disabled, mentally disabled, but it specifically is talking about people with no dependents that are able. So I don't know what percentage that applies to. Personally, I don't think it's a big percentage. I think it's aimed specifically at illegals, is what I think it is. So we have to switch over to the night lens here pretty soon, I think. So we'll do that in a second. Somebody else running and getting a workout. A lot of people have been exercising. It's nice to see. And you can still see all the rain runoff and draining out of the properties. Our property was absolutely saturated and soaked. My footprints while I was mowing the grass were filling up with water. So I'm keeping an extra eye on traffic. I know it's probably ridiculous, but I'm keeping an extra eye on it because I've gotten a couple stares from people because I'm wearing a MAGA hat. They actually slowed down and I could see them in the corner of my eye looking at me. Probably want to see why I'm filming. That's probably the curiosity. So I'm going to stop recording right now and start up in night mode. There we go, friends. We are in night mode. Reminds me of that song, that album by Bob Seger. Night Moves. Great album. Also, I want to make some brief commentary about somebody had left a comment on my video. V-Man down south, and also somebody else left a comment about albums I was looking through. So I ended up buying that album by that Australian band that you commented on that I should check out, and also had V-Man talking about Grand Funk in my video, saying I should have got that album, Survival. Well, I have 2 copies of that album. I got a lot of Grand Funk Railroad and Grand Funk. I really like them a lot. So you don't need to talk me into that. I have a lot of vinyl, so chances are I have something by somebody at least. Everybody from Leo Kottke to Jim Croce to Captain and Tennille, Cher, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Rush, Jethro Tull. That's a big one with me. I got most of his albums, and he has a lot of them. Even a couple of them that weren't so good. So if I see an album and I don't get it, it's because I thought it was a weak album by them, or I have it already. So I have so many vinyl records right now that when I'm shopping for used records, I actually have to stop and think, okay, do I have this one? Okay, I do. What condition is the one I have in? Is this one in better condition and I want to upgrade? Now, do I want to spend $5 to $10 upgrading something I already have? So usually I'll just put it back, because most of my collection is in really great shape. I don't have albums that you take out and play it makes noise, unless it's something really rare and expensive and would cost quite a few bucks to replace. So I have a couple of records. They're a little noisy, a little scratchy maybe. I have a backup stylus that is an old worn stylus, but not worn to the point where it's actually doing damage to records. But I put that stylus needle in for the odd album I have that makes noise, so it doesn't damage my good expensive stylus. What is a good expensive stylus? Well, one of the ones I use, and I have about 4 of them, cost about $200 these days to replace. So $200 each. They didn't cost that much when I bought them, but now that's what they're going for. Ah, an itch on my back. Hope it's not a tick eating me. I mowed the lawn, then I changed my clothes. Now I'm going for a walk, so I haven't had my shower yet. I don't want any ticks to find a place to roost. So when I get back tonight, I'll take a nice shower, hose myself off. Very happy with the performance of the lawnmower today. Put a new air filter in it finally, and damned if I didn't get better gas mileage. The other one was pretty plugged up, I think. So we got 2 new filters for it, very important. That thing ran like a champ today. It was actually getting some good air, is the difference. Even with the thick grass, it didn't bog down and stall like it did last year. And I think last year it just wasn't breathing. And That had to do with really ultra thick clumpy grass. We actually have to tilt the lawnmower back so the blades can throw all that chopped up grass out because it's so wet and clumpy. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Everybody's had to deal with that. And don't use a riding mower, which is probably good because that ground was so saturated back there today I would have got stuck from the weight of it. So anyways, passing the Kamala voters here. Kamala voters live there. Behind me. Here too. They had Kamala signs all over their lawn for the election. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm gonna laugh. Got 2.5 miles now. 2.5 mile mark. I got a good sweat tonight. It's definitely starting to feel like summer here in Maine, even though it's in the upper 50s. I am sweating pretty darn good. I'm wearing my MAHA shirt. It's a death metal band that is actually, well, technically a grindcore metal band, but I call it MAHA metal because all the odd timings the musicians use and weird counts. Just really interesting for me to listen to. Seen them live a few times, fortunate enough. Anytime you get to see a band that lives overseas in the United States. First time I saw them was opening for Fear Factory and Typo Negative, I believe. It's a pretty big concert. I'm gonna cut through over here. I think there's a porta potty. I hope that's what that is because I gotta go. That's a drawback from walking and you don't know what time you're gonna walk. I got a couple of coffees in me. Switch this around here. Head up to this gazebo over here. I think that is just a shed. I think I'm out of luck. Damn it. I was hoping maybe they set something up over here for people to use. Oh, they're gonna torture me even more. That's not funny at all, guys. Yeah, it's just a shed. Son of a bitch. Well, I'm gonna have to not think about it. I could just be crude and just go to the bathroom anywhere. Is that what this is? What is this? Oh, it is a restroom. Please don't be locked. Is it locked? Oh, look at that. Oh, bueno. Well, that's it, friends. I'm happy. This is nice. We have a permanent restroom here. It's not a porta potty. So this is a public restroom where they actually poured concrete and there's actually a hole in the floor with a toilet on it. And I don't know how they clean this out, but apparently they do. So how cool is that? That's pretty awesome. That came in real handy on tonight's walk. Now we can get back on our walk and down this way. You can see it's a beautiful night tonight. Really good sweat going tonight. So I think this is going to put us over 400 miles walked this year so far. Last year I did 1,339, which is from here to western Tennessee. Now we'll be coming up on 3 miles shortly for our daily 5-mile total. Boy, that's so nice to have that restroom there. I hope they don't put a padlock on there. That is a perfect place to have it too, because there's a lot of times that I'm on a walk and I have to go and I have to wait. It's like you'll notice that, and I'm sure you've experienced it. I don't know why that is, but the time that you have to go to the restroom the worst is just as you're trying to put a key in the keyhole. You know what I'm saying? Your brain just says you gotta go, and you're fighting with the key to get it in the lock at night or something. And you're just about going in your pants. I don't know why that is. Some kind of psychology behind it. There's a person there. I got a pocketbook on that table. It's been there for 2 to 3 days now. Somebody's gonna steal it. Won't be me. Oh, it's the little things in life. You get a restroom to use. Yay! That is awesome. Heart's getting a good workout today. Got my heart rate up really high, mowing the property. Had a good sweat going for that, and now we get another good sweat going. I can hear some peepers peeping, some little frogs. Had to be careful when I was using that potty. Make sure I don't drop the camera on my selfie stick. That would be a $250 mistake. That doesn't include the $10 paid for the selfie stick. Whew. It's going to be completely dark soon. Well, thanks for being here with me today, walking with me. Appreciate it. I've been picking up new viewers here and there. So I don't know, it's because I've been using the vlogging hashtag. Could be it. Basically, it's a walking vlog. And I talk about whatever I want to talk about. Guitars, vinyl records, politics, you know, that taboo subject of politics. I'd love to see this Corvette running full tilt. It's in the early 90s. We looked it up before. Sometimes a person that owns it is out there working on it. Ooh, a nice pink sunset in the distance. Way down there. I'm using an extreme super wide view lens because that's the only way to get the picture to be watched tolerably without shaking around too much. Stabilizer does not work well in low light, so I don't use it. Every little flicker of light turns into a streak and a stream, blurry. It's impossible. So I put boost on just a little bit. I have boost on, but not super boost. That's a happy little compromise. Now, could get a gimbal where you mount the camera on it and then you carry it on a selfie stick with a gimbal. But those cost almost as much as the camera, $250. And I'm not spending $250 just to have a stable picture at night when it works fine during the day. It has a built-in gimbal, basically, stabilizing software, which works very well. Whew, I am saturated with sweat. And I enjoy that because it makes much better walking when you are saturated with sweat. It's not cold. You know, the other day I was walking by this section right here, and there was a car parked right up ahead here. And the woman was wearing shorts and an athletic shirt. I think she was a college student. She hurried up and got in her car and locked the door because I was walking by. And it's really unfortunate that that's the society we live in now. Maybe it's always been that way. I don't remember it like that. Although bad things did happen to people. We used to leave our doors unlocked when we weren't home, or when we were sleeping at night. And we were in a poor neighborhood. Things were just different then. They have not improved, obviously. I just realized you could hear my crucifix I wear every day banging against the back of the camera. I noticed that on one of my walks. I was like, what the heck is that noise? Ah, I wear a big crucifix, well, 2.5 inches long. It's not a small one, it's not a big one either, but it's real silver on a real silver chain. So basically I'm holding the camera against my chest to help stabilize it, because the center of my chest is usually where I strap in a harness the camera, and it's the part of my body that moves the least while I'm walking. So all of this I'm doing for you to make it less stable, more stable and more tolerable for you to watch, hopefully. Now my last walk, picture quality was good, but for part of my walk I had the camera pointed too far towards the ground. I wasn't getting enough of the sky. So there's always something I critique. My eyebrows are soaked with sweat. That's what you want when you walk. You want to have a good cardio workout, non-stop walking, except to use a porta potty, which wasn't a porta potty this time. It was actually a potty with a hole in the ground. How cool is that? Oh, that was pretty cool, actually. Didn't smell bad either. I could actually see down in there. Can't believe how big that is. That whole space down there is about as big as the shed that was sitting on top of it, if you can believe that. Pretty cool. Had a thing of hand sanitizer in there, some hand towels. Cool is that? J.Beau now has a shitter on his walks. Taxpayer funded, so that makes me feel damn good. Pretty awesome. Let's see what my mileage says. She's been quiet. Coming up on 3.5 miles right about now. There's two people racing each other. I'll flip the camera around now. Hi everybody again. Keep walking. 3.5 miles in my ear. Woman in my ear said I've done 3.5 miles. There you go, got a street light. Having a very nice walk tonight. Did not walk yesterday. Actually, I did walk yesterday. I didn't walk the day before. So anyway, yes, that album, Flash in the Pan. Very good album. It's different. I like it. So thanks for the recommendation. You know who you are. Left here. Starting to feel like summer now. Very nice. We've got leaves on the trees, almost all the way. Not quite. Ooh, I am sweating a lot. I am wet. Very nice. Somebody's got a greenhouse across the street. That's new. What's around? I don't think we'll be able to look at it because it's on private property. You'll have to see it from here. It's got some flashy lights in it with different colors. What is that? Is that a greenhouse or somebody made a discotheque? I don't know if you can see that back there, in the back of this picture. I'm going to put this up on a pole. Help! See that as high as up as I can put the selfie stick. I think it's good, some kind of party going on there. There we go. Sorry about that. I'll switch this back around. Yeah, somebody's got a party going on back there. That makes all the difference in the world when it's warm like this and you get a good sweat. So they're going to try to use this airplane thing being donated as Air Force One as an emoluments clause violation for Trump. Figured they would have got done with that with the freaking DC hotel thing. Remember that? All the stuff they try to politicize, and they just end up looking stupid. And they will this time too. And it was really funny to watch Trump give ABC News a lashing today at his press conference that they asked him that. You know, he said, "What a stupid question." And it is. And I'm sorry about the far away views. Well, it's the only way we can get a good picture at night with this camera. So it's still pretty nice though, isn't it? We got leaves on the trees. Oh my God. Those came out really quick. Last time we walked through here was what, 3 days ago? They were little buds. Everything is shooting right out. Now Sunday morning we went shooting at the range. We left the house in the morning. And you know, it was a backyard with grass. Came back and the entire lawn was covered with dandelions. They opened up while we were gone shooting. It's pretty cool. And of course I mowed the hell out of them today. Sorry about that. Had to be done. Had to be done. Yeah, so they're crying about the emoluments clause already. They'd love nothing more than to get him impeached and removed from office before his term is up. They would love that. That ain't gonna happen. American public is just really sick of that. The Democrats are too dumb to figure that out. Let them crash and burn like the stupid people they are. I think I'm going to cook some pasta tonight. Been a good night for it. Not something I eat a lot of. It's not good for me. Once in a while, it's all right. Got somebody here with those lights outside. I like that. I can hear some peepers. Peepers are going crazy tonight. We had a bunch of rain. It didn't rain today. And they're having a great froggy old time. They're fornicating is what they're doing. They're making pollywogs. We're gonna have to go through Thorn Crag. The hiking trail's there. There's a little pond down there where last year we saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pollywogs. Couldn't believe how many frogs we saw about a month after that. Hundreds of frogs. lot of them end up getting eaten by things. But that's the purpose of a frog, I guess. You feed snapping turtles, birds. And this is about the time I start feeling my walks, which my back does not feel as tight when it's mild like this, and I get a good sweat going, which is another thing I like about it. Much better walking when you get a really good sweat. All your joints lube, your muscles loosen up. I'm still working on the church. Also took a pretty good handful of vitamins yesterday. Different things. Because I am vitamin deficient, unfortunately. Because of past health issues. When I didn't know that processed food was killing us. Now I know. So the pasta dinner I'm going to make tonight, a little bit of ground beef with some thin spaghetti. I'm going to have some olive oil on it, some chili powder, and have some onions in it, and some ground Hamburg, a little bit of Italian seasoning, some salt, a little bit of pepper, and it will be delicious. Very simple. Low in sodium compared to processed food because you salt it to taste. Very good dinner. And the onion powder I use does not have any salt in it, and neither does the chili powder. Very healthy. Now the pasta has wheat gluten, which unfortunately does bother me if I eat it often, but once in a while it's just fine. We got 8:48 p.m., 60 degrees Fahrenheit, May the 12th. Let's see what these prices are. Pizza packs are very good. So they're hiring cashiers. They want somebody in the meat department. So a lot of people are hiring. $5.99 a pound for ground chuck. Deli help wanted. Happy Mother's Day. So this is a local Franco-American business. They've been around since I was a little kid. Longer than that, actually. Bork's Parking Shop. They had another place that was in town, which is now a rundown, slummy area. And they sold that to somebody else who's now has a local shop, sells a lot of stuff to Muslims. The wonderful migrants that the Democrats happily bestowed on our state. I don't care who comes here illegally, but if they come here illegally, that's a different thing altogether. That's really what I don't like about it. It's not a racism issue. So anyway, it's amazing how the Democrats always manage to have brown-skinned people living in poor, rundown neighborhoods. It's just mind-boggling. And they keep voting for Democrats. So I don't know if it's because of the benefits they get. I have no idea why they do that. But they are doing themselves a disservice. So we're going to hang a left over here. Again, that's just my opinion. Might differ from yours. Everybody has a different opinion. I'm going to flip the camera around. As we see the shopping center, not very busy tonight. It's actually getting close to their closing time. So we're going to walk out the rest of this walk. We got a little bit of battery left. Have to squint at it to see. Uses a lot less battery on night mode. So that made me happy to see 2 ducks eating in our backyard today. It really did. Makes me wonder how well they see, because there really isn't very much for water very close to where I am, where ducks hang out. I don't know where they came from. But I'm glad they showed up. I don't mind sharing my bugs with them. They were walking around eating out of the grass I cut. So I probably had a whole bunch of bugs to eat. Dead bugs. And they're just there waiting to be eaten because I mowed them. Frogs are going nuts. Good time of year to be a frog, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink. Grass is green. Leaves are almost out all the way. Now, some of you guys down south, it's really hot right now. It gets hot and steamy. We're not going to see that probably till July. We'll have some stretches, but typically mid-July until the end of August is the hottest time of year we have. We'll get up to about 95 with a dew point of around 70, which if you live down south, you know that's very tropical. So this is pretty much not much difference from what you get much more of the year than we do. And a lot of times don't use the AC until mid-July to the end of August. And from now until then, basically you just open a window and let some fresh air come in. It'll be 80-85 degrees out, moderate humidity. Just basically put a fan on, circulate some air with the windows open. Very comfortable, nice. T-shirt and shorts. And down south, like in Florida, you guys get brutal heat. This is like your winter down there, where you have to stay indoors with the AC. And here we stay indoors with the furnace on to keep warm in the winter time. I noticed that during the pandemic, Florida was having issues with COVID outbreaks in the summertime because everybody was indoors. The opposite here, we have that in the wintertime. So what do we got over here? I see some kind of vehicle with lights on. Let's turn this around. See what that's all about. Gonna cut across here. Walk will be ending shortly. And a lot of times we've seen deer right here in the woods walking across the road. We saw 3 deer earlier. Well, you didn't. I saw a tail, and then I saw 3 tails hopping up and down in the woods. So it's like a city truck. Dump truck with his lights on. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, we're going to walk down this way. I'm going to sign off with you over here. I want to thank you very much for walking with me tonight. Say a prayer for President Trump and the country. God bless you and your family. Click like and subscribe, share the content, and I really appreciate you walking with me, and I really hope you have a beautiful week. We'll see you on the next walk, friends. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye. Thanks for walking with J.Beau.